July 15th, again, my last video wasn't long enough. I'm going to tell you what my deadly sin is. My deadly sin is envy. I have, for as long as I can remember, ever since I was a little kid, envied other people. I envied their looks, I envied their swagger, their style or their personality, I envy their belongings, their home or what their parents drove or whatever, like their status, I guess, or their stuff. And so when I did my fourth step in AA, and I didn't kind of realize what this was, how it drove me crazy. When I did my fourth step in AA, my sponsor said I had done the most thorough. He's been a sponsor. He's been sober for like 30-something years. Literally a rocket scientist working NASA. Atheist sponsor in AA. Said it was the most thorough fourth step that he had ever done with somebody. Like pages of shit. And I came to realize that envy is my deadly sin, And what happens when you envy other people for their stuff, you can envy, or I can anyway, envy almost anyone for anything. So, I envy people for their things, maybe they have a different or better or more hot rods or Volkswagens, or they have a garage full of tools, they have land or, big truck, I don't know, whatever, their stuff. I can be envious of their personality because they can just talk endlessly to people and they just talk out of their ass. Mike Klingemeyer comes to mind. Just great personalities, sharp-witted, which to me is like a true sign of intelligence, except for Mike. And then envious of maybe their skills. And this is like when I look at somebody like Sosa, or these metal workers, Andy Turones, corn, whatever. Anyway, somebody's skill set, whether that's building something out of metal or welding or whatever they do. I figured out when I did my fourth step that I could be envious of a homeless person because they have like this freedom of not being tethered to anything, and like they have this freedom of being homeless or whatever, which is absolutely ridiculous. But in my mind, it kind of made sense. I could be envious of somebody, our friends that don't have kids, because they've got this freedom of not having kids. Even though I know that kids bring tons of joy and an unbelievable experience to your life, and is earth-changing or life-changing, whatever. But I can be envious of somebody that's one kid. I can be envious of somebody that has 3 kids. I can be because they've got more people to play with, and these big families of 6 kids. I used to be envious of other people's relationships. I think that's one of the very few things I could say as I got together with V that I stopped being envy of people's relationships, because I felt like I had finally attained the perfect relationship with the perfect girl, which is just an unbelievably satisfying feeling, But so envy for me, and the problem is when you are envious of that many things or anybody and everything, it erodes your happiness, because you're constantly comparing yourself to somebody else, and their looks, their mannerisms, their status, their stuff, their skills, their whatever. And so, I could be envious of somebody living in Germany because I think they've got it going on over there. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I've dealt with this for a long time, and I have a lot less envy than I used to have. And I have a much greater appreciation for what I have. But it still creeps in. And what happens is social media fucks you up. Because all you see is people acquiring new things and more things and having collections of things and doing an unbelievable, crazy, cool work on things and building amazing things and all these amazing vacations and their amazing families and their good fortune, all that stuff. So you see mostly the best of what's going on. Of course, you also see the flip side. You see people going through cancer and death and, animals passing away and car crashes and, all kinds of bankruptcies, business failures, that kind of stuff. So, but I would say you see probably 4-to-1, 5-to-1 good news of people and their amazing lives versus their negativity. I try to keep it real. I, pour it out there when I feel bad or when I'm having shit, and I also pour it out there when I'm doing well. But why do we put our stuffs out there when we're doing well? Is it a form of trying to create envy in other people, which is something I've read about and watched videos about? Why do we post on social media? Because we want to create envy of our good fortune or our good looks or our good vacations or circumstances or whatever. Why do you post on social media? You can dig deep and find out what do you think that reason is. I'm not talking about just a superficial reason like I just want to share my vacation. I just want to show people what I'm doing. Why do you want to show people what you're doing? And a lot of it boils down to wanting to show off or create envy in somebody else, and that's usually a deficiency in yourself. So anyway, so just getting to the shop here. I figured I'd make a video about that just to see if that hits a chord with anybody. Like I said, I wear my shit on my sleeve. I'm far from fucking perfect. I've been through a lot of dumb shit in my life, and my mind's a fucking cluster fucking mess. I think I'm on the right path, but man, sometimes getting on the right path requires you to dig deep and pick out these thorns. And sometimes you don't like what you see. Sometimes we fail. You got to get back up, brush it off, try to get back into that happy place and grow from it. And that's where I feel like I'm doing, is I'm growing, trying to be real and whatever. Anyway, another box rod ramblings from my fucking head. All right, have a good day, man. Oh, it's July 15th, if I didn't say that. Happy birthday, Dylan.